Hello, greetings, friends. Mari Smith here, coming to you live from lovely sunny San Diego. We're back up to about 70 degrees now, thank goodness. If you're coming to social media world, that's good news. Next starts next week. In this broadcast, I have something very special for you. If you, like many of us, are suffering from social media overwhelm, this broadcast is for you. I have put together a great little presentation. I've got some slides for you. I'll share my screen in a moment. I'm going to be talking about my 5 top tips for effortless social media management to simplify and streamline 5 key things that you really should be doing every day to make sure that your social media management is flawless, well managed, nice and smooth. Now, of course, before we get started, we had a little blip yesterday, didn't we? That was really quite challenging for many of us who are in the business of social media, have anything to do with social media. It was really a big challenge to have to suffer through the downtime for Facebook and Instagram, and WhatsApp was affected. Messenger, of course. I heard even Oculus was affected. So unbelievable. That was just a really intense day for many of us. Where did I have that up on my screen a minute ago? I was going to share it with you. Oh, it's right here. I'm looking at it right this second. Here you go. Watch this. After almost 24 hours of technical difficulties, Facebook's back. And I just wanted to show you this graph. Look at that, 7.5 million reports of service outages. So it's pretty amazing. That's Down Detector. So it's one of the largest ever in recent history. So we're back, yay! I'm glad I didn't have anything too high stakes yesterday. I'm sure many of you did, and I know a lot of folks had challenges with their ad accounts and whatnot. If you've got questions like that about any of that, feel free to ask me. But today's topic I want to dive into, I know it's such a great topic. I see your comments in. Hello, Jenny's in the house. Fantastic. Jenny Brandon is here, and then numerous other good friends, because of this broadcast, this presentation is brought to you in partnership with my good friends at AgoraPulse, a fabulous company that I've actually been using their app for many, many years. And the founder, Emmerich Arnault, many of you will know, a wonderful, wonderful leader in this space. And he's the founder of AgoraPulse. And so I'm going to be showing you my 5 tips. Now, my goal with this is you might be using another platform. And many of you who know me well, have been following me for a while, is that I love to be able to present an educational broadcast that you will have tremendous takeaways, whether you are on the market for such a tool as I might be evangelizing, or whether you're completely happy with one you already use, you have no interest in switching over, or whether, like me, you were kind of on the market for something that was like you really needed a solution. So you'll see 5 top tips for effortless social media management, as I say, brought to you in conjunction with my good friends at AgoraPulse. So as I go through here, you want to take a few notes. I'll make these slides available to you. And of course, if you have to, we've got the replay instantly as well. Great. It's lovely to see you all here. Thanks for tuning in. And of course, I don't work for AgoraPulse. I'm an ambassador for them, and I know enough about the platform as a user, and then I also have my team using the platform. So if you've got any real technical questions, the AgoraPulse team is here and can answer any questions for you, as well as they're always available for any demos you want. You can hop on a webinar and get a private demo or a group demo. So, but without further ado, let's do this. So, is this you? Who can relate? Who can relate? And I'll tell you what, friends, in all transparency, I can relate. And I'm a social media expert. I've been in this business like 12 years. And there are days when I still feel like this woman in this picture, right? Like yesterday. Who felt like this yesterday? Can anyone relate? Yeah. So the thing is, obviously we've got, I just realized this image, we've got Google Plus up here. We need to get that out the picture because Google Plus is no more, obviously. And It's so funny. How many of you have noticed the number of people that use the T, which is the Tumblr, the little T like that is the Tumblr logo. It's not the Twitter logo. The Twitter logo is a little bird. It's always one of my pet peeves. The Twitter logo is the bird, not the T. T is Tumblr. So if this is you, this session is for you, and you will definitely relate because, whoopsies, because I know many of us are in this place. This is what social media overwhelm looks like. I'm sure that you'll be able to check off many of the items on this list. You got too many social channels, right? You got peer pressure. You're active on probably Facebook, Instagram, possibly Twitter as well. But then you're kind of like, well, should I really be over on Pinterest? Should I be what should I do with YouTube? And not just posting, right? Because as you know, my saying that I've been known for over a decade is that content is king. You have to start with some kind of content, even if it's a spark, a conversation, it's a topic, it's a subject matter, it could be a full-on article, it could be a video, it's a piece of content. That then sparks the discussion, it sparks the community, sparks the engagement. So content is king, but engagement is queen, and she rules the house. Okay, so you might be thinking, well, I've got all these social channels I need to push content out to, but then you're like, wait, but now I need to be managing that engagement, managing those comments and all that activity that obviously you want to get. And then of course the direct messages as well. So you got too many social channels, too much content to keep up with, too many notifications. Oh my gosh, notifications that drive you crazy. And with that hiccup that Facebook had yesterday, major hiccup, I actually had to delete Messenger from my phone and reinstall it. And when I went to reinstall Messenger, I have to tell you, friends, it was crazy making. It's like it just absolutely forces you about 5 different times, trying to force you to sign up for notifications and force you to connect your contacts. And I'm like, no, no thanks, no, 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 no. But nonetheless, you all can relate, right? Especially if you do social media management for your company, or if you're a social media agency, or you provide like done for you social media services. The notifications are crazy making. You got too many DM boxes, direct message boxes to check. You've got some kind of a, now I kind of put this phrase together tongue in cheek, a jerry-rigged system, meaning that maybe you're using like a Google spreadsheet and your calendar, and then 3 or 4 or 5 different apps to schedule on different platforms. You got one for Instagram, you got one on mobile, and you got one on desktop, and then your community management, you've got some kind of a flagging and tagging system, or maybe you're just not even dealing with it. But you got all these multiple disparate tools and apps to do as best a job as you can in managing your own social media platforms, and also with perhaps for clients. The list goes on. So what if you could go from this crazy lady to this Zen lady? Ha! Well, I tell you what, friends, these 5 tips, these five, you keep these 5 in mind. You can check out AgoraPulse. We've got a totally 2 free-month test drive for you coming up. I think Christopher already put the link in there, but it's normally a 14-day trial, and I got them to give you a 2-month trial. So if you're on the market for this, it's just amazing. So here's what you can do, whether you're using AgoraPulse or not. That's what I wanted to really emphasize. This is not meant to be a big pitch for AgoraPulse. Of course, I love them and I use them myself, and I want to show you what's possible, but these tips will be applicable no matter what you use. My apologies, I keep switching to that browser. Here we go. All right, so the good news is that you can go from crazy lady to peaceful Zen meditation lady with these 5 top tips, as I say, brought to you in partnership with AgoraPulse. It's social media management simplified. So let's get on with it. Number 1, no question, is schedule. Now, I know, and I've addressed some of your questions ahead of time, because I know that there's this big question out there, still big question. When it comes to Facebook, does it affect your reach when you schedule posts through a third-party tool? If you look and scour around on my blog some time ago, I want to say like 3 years ago, I published some study results that I had done with, I think it was with BuzzSumo back then. And there was definitely some evidence pointing to scheduling through third-party tools could possibly maybe affect your reach way back then, but I do have good news for you, and I'm going to show you that in the next couple slides here. So scheduling for sure should be done across all your social platforms. You want to schedule your posts because trying to just hand curate and manually publish every day or every other day or even a few times a week, it's just insanity. It's insanity, friends. It literally uses up like calories in your brain. You're burning up calories in your brain trying to remember stuff. Oh my God, did I schedule my post today? Or I mean, not schedule, but did I publish them? And you've got your little alarm set on your phone or whatever it might be. So you have to schedule across your, and I put your favorite, because I'm not here to tell you, you all should be using every social channel, right? You pick the 2 to 3 that are most effective for you. And that effective includes that your audience, the bulk of your audience is on that platform. And I would say hands down for 99.9% of people, that definitely has to include Facebook. So 99.9% of businesses, personal use is a whole other story. You can use it for personal or not, but 99.9% of businesses should definitely have an active Facebook presence. And of course, the second one I would strongly recommend is Instagram. Instagram, I've been saying this for 2 years now. Instagram is Facebook's next Facebook. It's kind of the darling of social media right now. So if you don't yet have a business profile on Instagram, that's your homework for today. First part of your homework. Switch over from your personal to business, or open up a business as well as your personal, because the reason you want a business is that you're going to be able to get access to better tools and insights and metrics, and it's only going to improve, right? It's just like pages. Look how over the years, business pages on Facebook, look how over the years, Facebook has kind of taken away features from personal profiles. Like you can no longer schedule posts to your Facebook personal profile. That API is gone. There is no third-party tool that will let you schedule to your personal profile, but you can certainly schedule to your page. You also cannot amplify the reach on Facebook through paid placement. You used to, do you remember, anybody here remember when Facebook experimented with that tiny little, like it was, what was it, $7? Does somebody remember? It was like $7 that you could press this button on your personal profile and you could increase the reach of a personal profile post in the newsfeed with like a few dollars. They took that away, of course, because that wasn't going to be a big money maker. And now it's like only on your page. So definitely have a business presence on Facebook, a business presence on Instagram, and then you get to choose what your third one is. Maybe for you that's YouTube, maybe it's Pinterest, maybe it's Twitter. It is for me, or of course LinkedIn. Don't forget LinkedIn. AgoraPulse offers several options, including publishing queues. Now, in a moment, I'm actually going to show you the back end of my own AgoraPulse. This is where, like, so let's say you do some bulk content. You've created some tweets or whatever it might be, some links to your articles, some curated articles. You can import bulk with a CSV file, or you can import from a website using an RSS feed. So that could be your own blog or other people's blogs. If you just really love someone's content, you can set that up. I always know when I publish a blog post, I'm not really a regular blogger. It's always been on my to-do list forever. But when I do publish a blog post, I can see from my tweets all the folks that have my blog post automatically set up on an RSS feed. Or you can import your images. So that's one way to do it, or you can schedule individually posts. And I'll show you my backend in a moment. The cool thing, one of the features I absolutely love, and this is going to be like a best practice. What you're looking at right now on my screen is super duper awesome. There's other platforms out there that have something similar. I used to use Hootsuite. I was a diehard Hootsuite fan for many, many, many years. And then I switched over to AgoraPulse. I used to use AgoraPulse just for components of my social, like the community. We'll get to that in a moment, the community management. But then I just switched over and I do everything in AgoraPulse, specifically the scheduling. So what this is a queue, publishing queue. So you're looking right now, this is my Twitter account. You see where my cursor is over on top left, because you can do all the social channels. So now we've just got scheduled in here. This is like any time you can grab the category. Like every morning I like to start the day with a motivational quote. And you can see that across the board here, 7 days a week. And then I'm going to do once a week, I'll put in a tip or a question. This is Bank of America. I'm a columnist for Bank of America. I want to make sure that I get my post in there for that. And so you get to make it up, and you could actually have numerous different cues. So then when you go to schedule your content, then you'll be adding it to the correct cue. So before I share my own AgoraPulse and you can see some of the cool things you can do, I want to address some of these questions because I know you'll be like, I will get to your actual live questions in a moment. I know the team are in here, my team are in here, AgoraPulse team are in here, or is in here. But I know you're going to say, can it schedule to Instagram? Guess what, friends? Absolutely. The API is wide open for Instagram, and AgoraPulse does. Oh my gosh, I misspelled that. I was typing too fast, right? You're like, wait, Mari, what's that? What is guide? I had the G key instead of the F. They're right next to each other. They're right next to each other. That's my excuse. So feed posts and stories. Yes, you can schedule stories on Instagram. And then you can even you could have the video or the image in there, and then it opens up on the mobile app, and you can add your stickers, your hashtags, your GIFs, or you can just let it publish. It's super awesome. You can also manage comments. So any comments, not direct messages. So there's no direct message API available yet on Instagram. So again, no third party can access your Instagram direct messages. But hands up here, who has seen recently that Instagram direct messages are now coming into your Facebook business page inbox? Now, obviously, they're owned by the same company, but we know there's an API there, and it's definitely coming. At some point, it will come to third-party tools. What's also coming is the ability to manage your Instagram direct messages on desktops. So that was actually one of the first things that Facebook did when they bought Instagram all those years ago, is they created a desktop version, the Instagram.com version of the mobile app. Because up till that point, before Facebook bought them, they were 100% mobile app. One of the main reasons Facebook wanted them, aside from the fact they were doing really well and it was all visual. So that'll be really cool when the DM API opens up on Instagram. And also, just a side note on that, those of you that are doing things with chatbots, the super awesome thing about having access to the Instagram API is at some point soon we'll be able to also do chatbots. All right. But at the moment, back to AgoraPulse, we're talking about specifically, yes, you can. There's many other apps out there. There's like apps that only do Instagram. And so this is where I'm getting myself, I use AgoraPulse every day for Twitter and LinkedIn scheduling. And then some of the community management we'll talk about. And then I'll show you some other uses. But at the moment, I need to bring my Instagram over with my team. Scheduled to Facebook groups is another question. Well, yes, you can. Yes, you can. This Facebook group API is open. The thing you cannot do is it's called listening. So you can't actually manage comments. You can't manage the engagement part of groups because the API isn't there. They had to shut down a lot of access last year, and now they're slowly getting things back up to speed. Now, this is a question I mentioned just a bit ago. Does scheduling to Facebook with a third-party tool affect reach? Drum roll. Ladies and gentlemen, the definitive answer is no. No, it does not. Let me just look up some other quick notes here, not on my screen, but so here's the thing. When Facebook went through that whole Cambridge Analytica data scandal, about a year ago now, it's like spring of last year, wasn't it? They had to do some kind of retroactive quick measures. They shut down access to many apps. They shut down the Groups API at first and then brought it back for certain aspects of it. If any of you use like a third-party Facebook live broadcasting tool and you broadcast into a Facebook group, you'll know that like BeLive or Ecamm, it's like, I'm using Ecamm today, the comments don't always come in through the app because the user has to give permission. So Facebook at first did not want any tools to have access to personal profiles. That was their first kind of reaction. And because they didn't even, well, I'm sure they knew, but third-party apps previously could access groups before they changed the API, could not only access specific people in the group, but also like all the information, all the data from group members. So that was not good. Now Facebook's slowly figuring out how to restore that access without sacrificing personal data and privacy. And apps, here's the cool thing, that third-party apps have to go through extensive and exhaustive app review processes. So you know when you're using an approved Instagram or Facebook app that they've gone through a lot to get to that point. So back in the day, it definitely was, um, lots of different studies out there that showed posting with a third-party tool could lower your reach. But now reach is so dang low anyway. I mean, could we get any lower than 1%? Sorry, I don't mean to be facetious, but that's the nature of Facebook. Dang it. So you do have to pay to play. A little, even just a little wee bit of budget will make your post go a long way. So let me switch over to my AgoraPulse. Put your comments over here. And I'll pull up my Twitter in particular. Okay, publishing, perfect. So what I wanted to talk to you about on this segment, we're only on segment 1 so far, scheduling. So I'm over here in my own AgoraPulse. I'm selected on the profile. I've got each one over here. It pulls up a whole different screen depending on what you have. So I've got my Twitter, which I use we use it almost exclusively for Twitter right now, and LinkedIn, but we've got other ones getting loaded in. So I might go and I can look at, the month or the week. You can see the week, you can see what's been scheduled and what's coming up. And then you can use it, you can look at it just in the scheduled view. Let's say I want to publish. If I click publish at the top left here, and you get this nice, easy editor. Pop your content in here, put your hashtags. Now they even have hashtag sets. I actually don't have them set up yet, but you can create hashtag sets, which is really awesome for Instagram scheduling. You can do obviously links, videos, images. You can choose what it looks like. You could schedule something across all social channels. The cool thing is, like, if you were to create, I'm just going to go here, test, and then add it to a queue. So if I go add to queue, now depending on what queues you have, you can add it to your various queues over here that are already. I think we have one. Yeah, we've got several in here. Oh no, that's the one that I was telling you about. Let's say that's my quote, and it goes to the quote, and that's the one you saw going out at 5 a.m. every morning. Easy peasy. Click queue, and then off it goes. It'll just go right into the queue and go out next. So this is something that you could batch create. You can have it all set up well in advance. Really easy to use. My team predominantly uses it. I'm doing just a tiny little overview demo here. I don't profess to be a super duper in the trenches technical expert with this platform. I know enough to be dangerous. Kidding on that part. No, I know a lot about AgoraPulse to know that I love using it and my team uses it. And actually, even in a few years ago, my whole team and I were using it for one client in particular, where we actually built a passion page to over 250,000 fans in 6 months. And we could not have done that without AgoraPulse, because we were using it mostly for community scheduling posts for sure, but also community management and tagging people. I'll get to that in a second. I'm ahead of myself. So I'll come back, any questions and whatnot on the scheduling, you can you let me know. But that's the scheduling part of it. It's super easy to use. You got the queues are best practices, and you got 2 different profiles in there. All right, let's go to the next one, which is listen. Now, what do we mean by listen? That just means like brand mentions, listening for who's talking about your brand, your business, your name, possibly certain keywords, and then competitors. A lot of folks out there listen to get alerts on competitors, for example. Twitter is the easiest to do that, and it's often most effective because Twitter is the most open, right? So if I just show you that right quick, we're already in Twitter, and I go to yes, I'm sure, I go to listening, and then I go to over here, create new search. And this is really cool in here, because you could go and create all kinds with the Boolean terms, the or and the ands, put things in quotes, words, phrases, Twitter handles. Another thing you can do is even and have it by location. That's really awesome. So let's say like next week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is hashtag SMMW19, that's Social Media Marketing World 19. So let's say that you're not going, if you are, no, let's try to think of an example. If you're not going, you would just tune into the hashtag. But let's say you're at one of the event managers, let's say you're putting on an event, or in this case, we're using social media marketing world, and you want to manage the tweets of the people who are specifically at the event. And that's why you would put it as called geofence. So you put the coordinates in there, and you'll know that the people tweeting about that event are the ones showing up in your search. So I think that's a really cool use there. You can listen for safe searches, as I said there. Geofence any searches, great for events. Facebook is limited to public mentions of your page. You can't really do searches, as many of you probably know already. If I go over here and just show you on Facebook, you want to have a listening tool anyway, but it's really cool. This is all inside anyway of AgoraPulse. So you go to listening, and most of these are going to be like mentions. Actually, they're brand mentions. Oh, thank you, Ryan owns remarketing. Look, I can give you a real-time like. That's awesome. Thank you so much. And see, I'm ahead of myself here, but you can see things like a sign. I can label this. I can bookmark Ryan. I can click and see that on Facebook. So some really cool things you can do there. So brand mentions, but again, you want to have that, and you may as well all have it under one platform, right? Instagram, you can do up to 30 searches. This is interesting that Instagram limits it, but you can go, I don't have anything set up just now, but you can create a search of specific hashtags so that you're listening for brand mentions and certain keywords and competitors, up to 30 searches on Instagram. That's just limited by Instagram's API. That's any third-party app. It's going to have your max searches, okay? LinkedIn has no access, so you can't really do any listening for brand mentions on any third party. Okay, next, let's look at number 3, is discover. What do I mean by discover? Well, you want to discover more about your audience. Who are your followers? Who are the ones engaging? Who are the people that retweet you the most? Who are the people, your super fans on Facebook? I know Facebook has that top fans, and that's great. But there's not really a way to kind of label them and keep real good track of them necessarily without using a third-party tool. What you want to do is identify possible typos. Mari, I have to fix my typos real time. Identify possible ambassadors, affiliates, or super fans. And then you can add labels. So with Facebook, actually, let me show you what this means. We'll go over here, and right now I am on Facebook, and I'm going to go under fans and followers. Okay, that's where this segment we're on right now is under fans and followers. So you can see here that I've got these labels. These are automatically applied. Some of you might see yourselves right in here actually, because these are automatically applied by AgoraPulse. And now if I click on top, and then I can see, let's see, there's Wave, engage. Oh, and then we've got one that says a liker. Robin, you're engaged and you're a liker. And so engaged means, the engaged label simply means that they have commented on a wall post, or they've direct messaged you. And then if you see the label ambassador, that means they've talked about you on their page, which is awesome. The more ambassadors you can get, the better. You've got some extra, ripple effect, people tagging you on their page, and of course engagement is super important. Engagement is queen. Twitter, if you have over there, if I hop back over and you'll see Twitter under fans and followers, you see I got lots of ambassadors there, ambassador, engaged, and then someone's like, Del, hiya, Del in the house. So she's got an ambassador and engaged, and that means engaged is they've mentioned you, and ambassador means a retweet. So really great things you could do there. Like if we pull up Del right here and I click on her and I can see information, as I said, remember, Twitter's the most open, so you can get most information. I can see right away how many mentions, retweets, this kind of thing, and followers, see where she's based. I can add other labels right on the fly, and all kinds of things right here. You can do some similar things on Facebook as well. And then Instagram, you can do, same thing where you get the engaged. I don't think they have do they have ambassador over here? The AgoraPulse folks can clarify the listening, the fans and followers on Instagram. That'd be great. So that's discover. You want to just get to know who are your folks out there, and really keep track of them and have those labels so that you can interact with them on a more regular basis with very strategic intent. Oops, I just realized my camera is over the top of, see that? Real time, we can just move it. Haha, love that. Great, so number 4 is simplify. Number 4 or 5, simplify. What do I mean by that? That is just one tool. Earlier when I talked about, tongue in cheek, that many folks out there have kind of like jerry-rigged their systems together. And I'm not making fun or blaming or anything. Listen, that's just the way it goes. Sometimes we get into habits. I know many folks over the years, long before there was any really good tools, many of you have been in social media for 10 years like myself, or more, 12 years, right? And you had to make do with things like an editorial calendar and a Google spreadsheet, or a Google Calendar, or whatever system you might use, a project management system, not necessarily one made for social media. So, but now maybe you don't even know that these kinds of things are available to you with just one tool. You get all social channels in one hub. That's a great thing about using a third-party tool. You only need one app for scheduling and community management. And this is the thing that really drew my attention to AgoraPulse, and I decided to switch over from Hootsuite because I was using AgoraPulse for my community management, doing that listening and having the labels and save searches, and specifically to surface superfans. And then I'm like, why am I using one app for scheduling and another for this, and just bring it all in together? Simplify, right? No need for extra Instagram apps either, because I know many of you here might not even know. I think many folks here don't even know that you can schedule to Instagram on both the feed and your stories. Yay! And the stories disappear every 24 hours. You got to keep refreshing. You got to keep adding more content to those stories. And Facebook is going to be, both Facebook and Instagram are moving towards a world, if you will, where it's much less feed and is way more stories. So it's going to be possibly even that vertical scrolling main feed on both Instagram and Facebook at some point might even go away. If many of you here might even remember that last fall, I think maybe several months ago now, Instagram, whoopsie daisy, accidentally unveiled or switched a button somewhere, and caused Instagram feed for many users to be a sneak peek of a new version they were testing. And it was no longer the vertical scroll, it was all swipe horizontal, swipe and tap horizontal, as if the entire feed had become one giant story feed. And every time you go into Facebook, you can see that they're pushing stories like crazy. At some point, we'll be able to schedule stories to Facebook. They're doing more and more with stories on Facebook, including now, I saw just recently that they're bringing out the archive feature, which is already on Instagram, where you can save your stories and showcase them at the top. And that feature is coming to Facebook pages, okay? The ability to archive your stories. All right, so the fifth one, delegate. Another beautiful thing that you want to be doing to simplify your social media is to make sure that you have at least one person, if not several people, depending on the size of your company, the size of your budget, the size of what you're wanting to accomplish. So delegate to at least one, even a part-time social media assistant, a VA, someone that could save you by them doing just a few hours of work. You can put that few hours every week to much better use. It's higher and better use of your time. So you can allocate team members inside of AgoraPulse. You can assign comments and messages. So let's just take a sneak peek at that again, where I was here before. Let's go over to Twitter, and let's go to listening, and let's go, these are like retweets. Actually, let me go, so here's maybe someone sharing. Okay, great. So let's just say I was like, I want to make sure this person gets a specific kind of answer. So I'm going to click on assign, and I'm going to go ahead and select one of my team members in there, and anything, any comment, any direct message in any social channel can be assigned to a team member, which is really great. And then you can also have a whole system with labels to show, different categories of what's being managed. Roles included admin, editor, moderator, and guest. Guest doesn't really have any access. Maybe you could even have, like, let's say you do social media management for other people, for clients. You have a done-for-you social media agency, but you don't want the client in there messing around with your schedules and your queues and, tampered with settings. So you just give them guest access, and they can just see what you got going on. They can take a peek, but then, they can talk to you directly about some of the changes they might want to make, something like that. So that's a great role to have. Okay, so friends, I will get to your questions in just a second here. Oh, by the way, and I should even tell you that there's a mobile app that you guys might have been asking that. There's definitely a mobile app too. And so as I mentioned, we have a test drive. So first of all, you're going to be able to get into this beautiful Mercedes with me. This was actually me doing some brand ambassador work for Mercedes up in the Bay Area a few years ago now. But I was test driving a self-driving car. This one I'm in right now is actually not a self-driving car, but we got to test drive all kinds of great Mercedes. So who wants to come in my Mercedes with me? You are invited, my friends, to come in my Mercedes for 2 months for free. 2 months free, as I mentioned. This is what our good friends at AgoraPulse have very, very generously provided for Mari's peeps, is a completely free test drive, and it's 2 whole months. Regularly, there's only a 14-day. If you just go to agorapulse.com, you'll only going to get 14 days. But if you go Agora_Mari2MO for 2 months, that'll get you directly to that special sign up page. And you can go ahead and check it out and see all those great features that I just talked to you about. That's really, really going to make a big difference to your social media. Being able to schedule, listen, discover more about your audience, delegate to team members, and just simplify, because you got everything under one app. You really do not need any other app. I haven't even gotten into the metrics and reports. Their metrics and reports are really, really good as well. And so that's bit.ly/Agora_Mari2MO. And then what we'll do with that is I'll just go ahead and make sure, and I know my team is here and Agora is here as well, and we'll just pop that right in here and make sure that that's there. I'm seeing some good questions here. We'll definitely get your answers. Awesome possum, friends. Great. I'm just going to pin that comment. I wish Facebook would leave the comments pinned. I see sometimes on some Facebook Lives, have you guys noticed that, guys and gals, that where you can actually leave a comment pinned after it's already, there you go. So you have to go in and do it. You can't do it in a third-party tool, but I've pinned that comment. But I love it when the comment can stay pinned after the live has already ended. That's kind of cool, eh? Okay, so the good news is with your 2-month free trial, you can go from overwhelm to our Zen lady here. Yay! Just thought I'd finish up with that image. That was fun. Yeah, thank you, Susan. She's putting the price there. I see some folks asking about the pricing. You can take a peek at that. It's very reasonable. Let me do this. As I'm logged in right now, I'll go to a different window. Agora/pricing. That's right. That is the link. Thanks, Susan. Yeah. I'll put that up on the screen. You can take a peek. And annually, $39 a month. For a small business, you can see the different things you get on that. 3 social profiles, 1 user. That's probably just that's ideal. Oopsies, where'd that come from? I want to go and make this larger. Take a peek, but before you make any decisions, take it for a test drive, and you can definitely get all kinds of great free. There's free tools here. You can book a demo. You could even do that. I would just go ahead and book a demo. But if you have, let's say 2 or 3 team members, and especially if you do any social media management for other people, AgoraPulse is like a dream. And then or if you're maybe thinking to add that on, maybe you have a different kind of business, but it's in the social media arena and you want to add on social media management, you've always wanted to do that, then here's a really simple, streamlined way to do that. So let's, and then I said I would show you the mobile app too. Let's do that. I always like to do that because I know many of us here are out and about, right? You're out and about, you're on the road, you want to be able to, do things on the road. Do things on the fly. Perfect. So my AgoraPulse right here. And it's really, really great and intuitive. I'm just on you'll see the very similar layout, right? Very similar layout. Put myself in the moon there. Over the moon. I'm over the moon. So you got your different social channels, exactly emulating what you saw on the main app. We were right there, we're in Twitter. And then I could go down the bottom here. I can go to the little, oh, come on, up there to publish. I can go with that little paper airplane, go ahead and write my post in here, schedule it, add it to the queue ideally. You know, you hit next and it goes to the queue, and then you don't even have to think what time is it and did I already just publish one, and is this going to, you just add it to the queue. Then also a cool thing, like Chloe on my team does a lot of my tweets. She'll do some tweets and then make some tweets for me and um, put the approved, like they don't get published until I've approved them, which is great. And then you can also do your listening in here too, right? So we go to our listening, and there's Ryan. We just saw him a minute ago. So these are all great. You can look at the inbox, all kinds of great things in here. If anything's assigned to you for reviewing. All right. So as I say, right now I'm mostly using it for Twitter. We use a little bit for and LinkedIn. I'm about to also bring in my Instagram, because I use a different app for that. I'm now wanting to bring in Instagram to AgoraPulse, because what's cool, my friends, is that more and more cool features are coming, including like the grid layout. In fact, if you go to AgoraPulse's Facebook page, I know last week our good friend Mike Alton did a Facebook Live with our other very good friend Jen Herman, wonderful Instagram expert, and they were talking about all the really cool features that Agora offers for Instagram. All right, so great. Let's see any questions that we might do. Oh, wonderful. Hi, Camilla. It's just Sweden's in the house. Great. Oh, Jacqueline, I'm so happy that she says I need this right now. Sedona, yay. Hi, Deb. Yeah. Yeah, so that's it. Sometimes until you see a dashboard, or you see an app in use and you're like, wait a minute, I didn't even know that this was possible. I didn't even know I could schedule Instagram stories. Or I didn't even know that there was like one-stop solution that I could manage all my social channels, and I could also be listening and have safe searches and not have to go to 5 different places each day. Yeah. Just looking for any questions here. This is great. Oh yeah, Lori says this. So I looked like yesterday when Facebook went down, right? I know, the crazy lady, right? I know we were all crazy lady yesterday. Oh, Ta, well, much love to you. I really appreciate it. It's my joy and pleasure to educate and inspire. uh, oh my gosh, running nine, does that mean 9 apps? Yeah, that's a good point, April. Now LinkedIn has a live as well, don't they? Oh my gosh, I did not hear that yet, but I'm not surprised. An Amazon Live. Well, don't forget Twitch, right? Twitch. Um, okay, great. Oh, I see. So Jacqueline's doing Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook for 3 businesses that are all through one company. I see. Oh my gosh. So if you don't use AgoraPulse yet, it definitely would be a great fit for you. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Christopher. Yeah, exactly. I like the unicorn. Oh, I see what you're saying, Jacqueline. Says my problem is my boss won't spend the money to get programmed to help me feel that way. Well, here's the cool thing. Whenever I see something like this, Jacqueline's bringing up such a good point, and I think many of you can relate if you have a boss or clients that you want to kind of increase your fee so you can fold the cost of an app like this into your monthly retainer. That you need to do a good job in presenting them the why, right? To show them the benefits of being able to actually generate more business, generate more revenue. So certainly by saving time is one element, by having everything under one roof, by being able to just streamline all the efforts. But what if, like, through using like the listening feature alone inside of the Agora Pulse dashboard, that you were able to cross-platform surface and identify potential clients, potential brand ambassadors, affiliates, joint venture partners, podcasts you can be interviewed on, whatever it might be. So if you can tie it to the bottom line, people will always spend money. If they can see how utilizing a tool or a platform and investing in something, investing in an event, a training, going to a conference, a tool, an app, a program, then just I've always said that to Christopher, right? People will spend money when they learn when they're learning how to make money. That's it. So, Jacqueline, feel free to get a demo and talk to the AgoraPulse team, because they've heard every objection under the sun, and they can help you present that to your boss. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome, Annette. You're an Agora user. That's wonderful. That's great. Thank you, Ineke. It's good to see you here. Oh, Heather, you're so kind. She's absolutely love following you on your page. You're amazing. Well, high five, Heather. You're amazing right back. Oh, wow. Hiya, David. Need a solution to manage over 300 social profiles. That's amazing. Well, the Agora team can certainly reach out to you, and I don't know if that's something that they can do at their level or not. You know, the enterprise level does 40 profiles, right? You should definitely talk to Emmerich. Emmerich will have an answer for you. That's great. Thank you, Ineke. Ineke, and I forget how to pronounce your name. I sure hope I'm saying it right. Our good friend over there in Ireland, good friends with Jenny Brennan. I know I've met you before. Did we meet you in Manchester? Oh no, I probably met you at the Dublin event I spoke at. But she works with Agora too. She says, not a problem. You can have as many IG accounts on AgoraPulse as you wish. Yay! That's awesome. Ineke also has the best hairstyle. Yeah, exactly, Jacqueline. I hate to have a separate email for each. Oh yeah, but that's Instagram, isn't it? Definitely Facebook pages. Oh, 100%. Yeah, Facebook. I mentioned Facebook groups a fair bit there, but definitely Facebook pages. You can schedule to them. You can do listening, public mentions of your brand, comments, and the inbox as well. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, definitely pages. I didn't mean to create confusion around that. This is good. It's great. Thanks for all your questions. Catherine, you're asking, what would you advise to publish only in stories? Interestingly enough, if you were to go to my Instagram, that's Mari_Smith, I don't post a lot at all in my feed. I keep wanting to, and change that. We've got some posts lined up. It's just focusing on other things right now, but I've got my feed posts will be getting more frequent in the coming weeks and months. Meantime, I do my best to be as regular as I can on stories, because stories are so easy to create. Even if you do a simple text update, a photo that you already have taken, you don't have to wait till your camera ready and do a photo or a video. But stories I would recommend on both Instagram and Facebook, on both your personal Facebook and your business page. Do your best to publish one story every 24 hours if you can. 2 to 3 is better, but that's where we're heading. Is Mark Zuckerberg said very recently that stories are the future. So we want to make sure that we're taking into account stories. It's really, the stories is catering to our very short attention spans, as well as the just that ability to engage with micro content. Also, as Mark Zuckerberg has also said, that people are more likely to share a bit more personally, a bit more intimately, when they know their content is not going to, quote unquote, stick around, is how he called it. It's not going to stick around. In other words, it's ephemeral, it disappears. So stories disappear after 24 hours. Of course, I don't know about you, friends, but how, vanishing content is one thing, but anybody could take a screenshot. I still wouldn't put something really incriminating or like too intimate up there. Think, oh, only my friends will see this for 24 hours. Then I'll just, they'll vanish. Like, yeah, still have to be cautious, right? Yeah, Catherine, absolutely. You're saying better suit. better suited for agencies. It's for both. It's really for both. And I love to recommend that small business owners and entrepreneurs, you kind of like start the way you mean to go on. Like depending on where you're at and with your accomplishments, with your growth level of your business right now, then you might be just fine. You're fine. You're like, I got it all handled, you know, and you use a system that works for you. But let's say this time next year or this time in 6 months' time, and you envision yourself doing a whole lot more, doubling. Let's say you could double your business, 2x. Let's say you could 10x your business in 12 months. And in order to do that, you definitely want to have a system where you have the ability to delegate. You have other people being able to come in and just step in and help you manage and schedule and do engagement and track your stats and so on. So, you know, it depends. If you're a solopreneur with limited budget, then, you know, maybe not yet, but you could definitely take a peek. That's great, Michael. That's great. Yeah. Hi, Adam. This is today I'm using Ecamm Live. I'll get you the link for that. Melbourne, Australia in the house. That's great. Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful, Kelly. Good to hear it. Good to watch again. She said, I have 2 home businesses and 4 Facebook pages. Oh, this is going to be like such a relief to you to be able to just manage everything in one place. Yeah, Jennifer, I know. Because see, AgoraPulse has been around for a long time, and initially, like 5, 6 years ago, most people thought of them as more of a social community management platform, right? That's what they predominantly were known for, community management. And then they've been really building and building and building, and bringing in all of these wonderful features, the ability to schedule and have the queues and do the listening and the tagging, and the assigning, and you're absolutely right. She said so robust, like 5 O's. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Hiya, Bella in the house. We'll see you next week too, my dear. It is Ecamm. Yep. And it's super fun to use it. Ecamm is for Macs only, my friends. Hello. Oh my God. Brigetti has a blackout. Cape Town. Yikes. Yeah. Hiya, Grace. I guess recovered is one way you could put it, but I think a lot of us really took a hit yesterday. Hiya, Al. We're going to see you next week too. He says, perfect timing for me. Oh, good news. Yeah, you're just going to really love how you can manage numerous profiles and pages and the whole community. Thanks, Ineke. Oh, great. And what's my favorite app for multiple live video? Oh, I know what you mean. Like to be able to broadcast to multiple, like YouTube as well as Twitter, Instagram. At the moment, I don't think, well, there is a couple of apps out there I think you can broadcast to Instagram. I just like doing it from my phone. I know there's like a Social Media Examiner uses Crowdcast. Facebook terms stipulate we're not really supposed to simulcast to Facebook and another platform at the same time, yeah, coming in through the Facebook Live. But I think there's a way to do it through Crowdcast. vmix is a good one. But I don't know. For me, I like to stick with one platform and then repurpose that video with Ecamm. And this is just for Macs, but there's other great ones as well. Be Live is a desktop-based one, browser-based one, excuse me, not desktop, but just browser. But then you can get the recording. So like this is recording me real time right now, and I'll end up with the HD file. And then we can repurpose some of it if we want to. Oh, how cool! Thank you, Adair and Theoni. You guys are awesome. Yeah, I know. I should have included that in the call to action, but Facebook makes it really much more enticing now and obvious that if you want to start a watch party, I think they're just automatically putting that little label under there, start a watch party. And friends, just as Adair and Theoni are doing, if you have not yet experimented with the watch party feature on Facebook, I highly recommend you do. You can actually basically acting like a host. It's like having movie night and bringing some friends over to your house, get the popcorn out, and you're hosting someone else's video or live, and it can be a whole playlist. Any public video, any public live, you can host as a watch party in any group that you admin, any your personal profile and your page. Actually, I'm saying any group that you admin, but I have a funny feeling it actually does it even in any group if you're not an admin, I gotta just double check that. Let me look at a group that I know I'm not admin in and see, is it let me do a watch party? No. Okay, good. Otherwise, that would be a bit crazy. Yeah. So any group that you administrator for or a moderator for, you can host a watch party. Alrighty, it's kind of cool, eh? Let's see, so a couple more questions and I do need to go. This is great. Thank you, Christopher. Well, I do have to give a shout out here. Irenia, she's the best tool or app to use to repurpose your videos. Well, I love wave.video. Definitely take a look at them. I am an ambassador for them as well. But I think you'll really enjoy wave.video. Is perfect for repurposing videos. Really cool. Jennifer, yeah, you might try. She says an app for non-Mac users similar to Ecamm is Blue Jeans. BlueJeans.com. They're really reasonable. They're like $12 a month. They're similar to Zoom. Zoom is going to be like $49 a month to do Facebook Live, desktop based. It's much more stable. You can do the HD, but otherwise BeLive is another one to try too. But BeLive will work for PC or Mac, and it's Chrome based, browser based. And let's see. Oh, Astrid, hello. I love Norway. Norway is one of my favorite countries. Oslo, yeah. It's been a while since I was in Oslo. Not yet, but find me a reason to come and I will come. Hi, I'm Marty. Yeah, we'll see you at Social Media World. That's awesome. Interesting. Yeah, I'm seeing a couple. If you guys got any hiccups or glitches or weird things happening right now, it's definitely I'm seeing that it's kind of an aftermath of the big blackout that they had for 10 hours yesterday, which supposedly is to do with server overload. And the reason I insert the word supposedly is that I don't know about you guys. I just found it a little hard to believe. Their biggest outage ever affected all of their apps. A server configuration change. Yeah, Recode saying here, we've asked for more details on what that means and we'll update when we hear back. So apparently it wasn't foul play. There was no attack. There was no cyber attack. So hopefully that's true. No data breaches. We'll see. We'll find out. All right. So my lovely friends, Zoom. Yeah, Zoom is good too. Yeah, exactly. Oops, I already put that up. I thought that was a new one. Thanks again. All right, friends. So as we said, come in. Whoopsie. Go back to my desktop. There it goes. My screen. There it goes. Come and take a test drive in my Mercedes for 2 months. I just find that funny. Let's drive around for 2 months. Me and you in this gorgeous Mercedes, and let me know how you get along. Take AgoraPulse for a completely free test drive for 2 months, regularly 14 days, and you can get that at the bit.ly link we put in there for you, Agora_Mari2MO. And just a quick reminder of what we covered here today. I'll put this over here onto my slide view like that. Size it up. Oops, my camera's probably in the way now. Oh no, it's okay. You want to go from crazy lady to Zen lady. Schedule. Listen for mentions and more. Discover more about your audience. Simplify with just one tool. That's all you need. And delegate to an assistant or someone on your team. Okay, friends? Have a good rest of your day. Any questions, let us know. And remember, you can go ahead and sign up for a demo too. And I hope that you have less social media overwhelm and much more effortless social media management. We'll see you again on the next live. Bye for now. We'll see you next week if you're coming. Social Media Marketing World. Bye-bye.